Hi my loves, welcome back to the Riggie Report. My name is Riggie and today we're going to talk about something really important, because if you haven't been living under a rock, if you've been following financial news, and you know that our country and many others are in the middle of a recession right now, no matter how much our government wants to deny it. However, with the recession come a lot of economic uncertainty and a lot of questions that people may have. So today we're going to talk about 5 things that you can do right now that you can plan for to help better your financial situation during the recession. The number one thing that you're going to do, the very first thing you're going to do, is to build a budget. Now I know building a budget is really scary for some people, but you have to really sit down and have an honest conversation with yourself to look at 1, how much money you're bringing in, and 2, how much money is going out. You're not going to be able to change anything about your financial situation if you don't know where you are financially. So you have to sit down, be honest with yourself, ask the hard questions so that you will be able to make a sound financial plan. The second thing we're going to do is we are going to reduce our expenses. So after you sat down and you really looked at how much money you're bringing in, how much money is going out, you're going to look at all of the unnecessary spending. So unnecessary spending would be stuff that isn't really important. It might make you feel good, but it's not necessarily good for your budget or for your use of funds. So that things that you can come back on would probably include maybe going to the movies. If you go out to eat 3 or 4 times a week, you can cut it down to 1 or 2. Now what we want to do is we want to cut down our spending but not really starve ourselves, because you know at the end of the day we're still human. But you do want to cut back on spending on things that is not really necessary. And the third thing you're going to want to do is to bulk up your emergency funds. Now, having emergency funds is really, really important, because at any time, you know, we can have an emergency. Your car tire could blow out. A tree can fall into your house. We are right now in Florida, we're having a hurricane, and that could very negatively impact, you know, our livelihood. So you want to have between 3 and 6 months of your monthly income saved up in an emergency fund, because with a recession, a lot of companies are unfortunately laying off workers. So a lot of the big banks have been laying off workers. Apple has been laying off workers. So you really want to make sure that you have a security net. So if, for example, something were to happen to you, you have a loss of income, you have a cushion, and you have a couple of months to find another job before the situation starts getting dire. You should never be ashamed to use your emergency fund, but what you should be is proud that you had it in the first place, okay? The fourth thing we're going to do is we are going to pay down debt, okay? So how many of us here have credit card debt? Guilty, okay? But we're not alone. I have credit card debt, you have credit card debt. As a matter of fact, Americans have about $887 billion worth of credit card debt, and credit cards tend to have the highest interest rates of all loans and lines and credits and stuff like that. So what you really want to do is start paying off those high interest loans first, because they're going to cost you the most in the long run. So if you have 2 or 3, 4 credit cards, you want to pay that down as much as possible, because the last thing you want to happen is for you to, you know, lose your job and possibly go into default with these credit cards. So the first thing you want to do, as after you have, you know, saved up a little bit of money, is pay those high interest cards off immediately. And the 5th thing that you want to do is you want to save up for investments. So I'm sure a lot of you have heard that a lot of YouTubers and people talk about, well, when the market crashes, it's going to be an opportunity to make money. And the old saying does hold true, you have to have money to make money. So you're not going to be able to buy a second property, you know, if you don't have any money in the bank account. You're not going to be able to have money to buy investments or stocks when they're really cheap and they're on sale and stuff like that. So you really want to bolster your savings, and so you can have additional funds, so you're going to be able to change your life, because a lot of things can happen. A lot of millionaires are made during recessions, and what you want to do is put yourself in a position where you're able to take advantage of that. You don't have to get ready if you stay ready, okay? So that is all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.